Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I am Jeff, and today we're going to do some more sorting and chatting. And this is just some loose ends that I need to take care of on my end. I figured I'll let you guys in on it. That way we can have a conversation and have a little bit of fun while I'm doing it. What I am doing is sorting, I want to say like 15 of this 3-in-1 set is what I'm doing. And so, anyway. I know I just did a stream like this yesterday where I was doing this same exact set. However, a lot has happened in 24 hours, so I got some stuff to talk about. So I'm not really sure where to start, but I'll start off by saying it's a hot day out here. It is almost 100 degrees out here, which means I don't want to be out in the shop. And that's the main reason that I am in the house, to avoid that weather. Hello, Brickmania Trevor. How you doing, bud? And I don't mean bud in an offensive way. This is one of the words I use. How's your Sunday afternoon going? I'm actually hoping my sister shows up soon because I want those extra dogs gone. And I really want them gone because, well, I'll tell you in a little bit. Just finished cutting the lawn. Yeah. That reminds me, as soon as my sister picks up the dogs, I need to do that too. So last night, I was trying to avoid being out in the shop, and I did avoid it, being out in the shop while it was hot. And while I was avoiding the shop or being out in the shop I'm sorry, I had text message come through to my phone and it distracted me. Let me just move my phone so I don't have that happening anymore. Okay, so I was trying to avoid the weather, so I wasn't out in the shop most of the day. I was inside the house. Well, at 9 o'clock last night, I went out to the shop, and almost immediately going out there, the wind started picking up so bad. And we do get really bad windstorms here, and that's mostly the geography because it's kind of like where I live is kind of like a cone, where to the northwest, there's a canyon, and then where my hands are would be the mountains, and it kind of comes out, and it kind of makes a cone, like tilted a little bit. And so when we get winds north to south, especially when it's coming from the south, is worse because as it hits the canyon choke point, it gets stronger. And I kind of live I live fairly close to that choke point. And so, yeah, we get some really strong winds here. And I thought I heard a piece of the roof come off of the metal roof come off the shop. I didn't see it outside when I went out to look this morning. So I guess I didn't hear it, but it was really strong. And my son, Spencer, he built a chicken coop for the smaller chickens that we got a few months ago. And, well, just like the story of the big bad wolf, it puffed and it puffed and it blew it all down. So the chicken coop's destroyed. It was very poorly put together anyway. It was only supposed to be a temporary structure. But anyway, it's destroyed. And when I woke up this morning, because it was dark when it started blowing the wind, when I woke up this morning, I looked outside and I saw the chicken coop destroyed. And I saw the 6 chicks that were supposed to be inside running around everywhere. And I didn't notice this until I was ready to let the dogs in. Well, I went outside fearing that maybe something happened to the chickens because there are predators around here. No, they were fine. All 6 of them were alive. So I was going around trying to pick up the chickens and stick them in the larger coop because they're about 80% of the size of the grown chickens. So they're maturing pretty well, and they can fend for themselves. So anyways, I was picking them both one by one. And as I was doing that, Gertie, one of my sister's dogs, who, by the way, is around chickens all the time and never attacks them, decides to attack one of the chickens. And the chicken wouldn't move at first. I picked it up and I put it in the larger pen, and it ran away from me. So it was just stunned. And while I was doing that, Gertie actually hurt a second chicken. And the second chicken can't walk now. And so I'm afraid that she's going to pass away. I put her in the house into a 27-gallon tote with water, and I situated her close to the water. And so she has been drinking, and the water and the food's right next to it. So she has been eating and drinking, but she can't move. And I don't think that if I stuck her with the rest of the chickens, they're just going to pick on her till she dies. So can't exactly do that. That's also why I'm just looking forward to my sister picking up the dang dogs. They try to kill my chickens, dang it. But seriously, Gertie actually, she's a great Pyrenees. She's a protecting kind of a dog, so she doesn't normally hurt them. In fact, my sister has, I think she said 30 hens, and Gertie's never attacked any of them. So why she did it over here and misbehaved, I don't know. But it's very irritating. And hello, John. How you doing? And now it's just hot out there. And the best piece of news that I have is that Mrs. Chip was able to go visit our granddaughter today. And she's 6 years old. And I was able to FaceTime them, or, well, not really FaceTime, but it was Facebook Messenger video, but whatever. Same thing as FaceTime. We were able to talk and video chat. And anyway, it was cool. And she requested that Grandma buy her a Lego set, which Grandma did. And I don't think it should come as any surprise that she asked for a Frozen Lego set. So we bought a regular one and stuck it in the freezer. No, I'm just kidding. No, we did not. There's a bunch of these little pieces. So Mrs. Chip is not here because she is on her way home. The granddaughter is about 3 hours away from Mrs. Chip. So Mrs. Chip traveled there early this morning and is on her way back after spending time with her. So I don't think she'll be able to join us because she is driving. And it's hotter than Hades up here. I just turned on the air conditioner maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So, oh, I messed that up. Let's see if we can fix that up. Okay. Now, eventually, I am going to have to just bite the bullet and be out there and put this stuff away. I'm hoping to get up early enough in the morning to do that. I don't like being out there when it's hot. Hey, Greg, how's it going? And Greg, perfect timing. I checked, I'm going to repeat part of what I've said before in a different stream, but I ordered some of the August 1st sets. And what I ordered was, what do you call it? The Modern House ×3. And I also ordered the 2 Speed Champions. And the update is I checked my tracking number, and it should be here on Tuesday. All right. Well, where are you eating at, Greg? And what's on the menu? What'd you have? There's a lot of these little pieces. I do have a full bag to do after this one, by the way. And I think there's 2 smaller bags inside those bags. So technically, I guess 3 bags to do. 1 big and 2 small. Tex-Mex, all right. And Trevor's asking, Greg, didn't I just see a couple hours ago in the chat at Bender's Bricktastic Builds? Actually, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know. I don't know who this guy is. This Bender's Bricks. I would like to Bricktastic. I would like to get to know more YouTubers, as I find it extremely fun to do this. And yeah, when my sister leaves with the dogs, I am going to do the lawn. I've got a riding lawnmower, so if I wear my big old hat that makes me look like an old granny, it protects me from the sun, and at the same time, I get a little bit of wind because the thing's moving, because it's a riding lawnmower. So yeah, I'll take care of that this afternoon if she gets here early enough. If she doesn't, I'll just do it first thing in the morning. And the nice thing about living out here, out of the country, I could do it first thing in the morning and no one cares. Oh, and I forgot to mention, do you guys collect the gift with purchases? I do. I don't ever, well, I can't say ever, but I hardly ever build them. I don't have time. However, I did with that order I was just talking about a few minutes ago. I did qualify for the 40712, the micro rocket launch pad thing. I think that looks pretty cool. And right now they've got, if you have some VIP points, you can get some Ninjago miniature gift with purchases things. I'm not so sure I want to use my points on that, so I think I'll forego doing that. But I'm wondering if any of you guys have gotten it. Greg Duck, huh? Must be an inside joke there. Yeah, I'm going to do this stream until I have all the bags done. And this morning, well, before I do that, Greg says he's having a birria burrito. Never had one of those. Not quite sure what that is. What is that, Greg? I did work on the house today. I had this weird thing going on in Spencer's bedroom where there was a ceiling fan, had 2 light switches, presumably one for the light, one for the fan. However, when you turned one on, it came on. If you turned on the other, it would turn it off. And so it was obviously wired incorrectly. So I tore it apart. It took me, there were 5 commons and 5 hot wires going to it. And total 7 ground because 2 of them split off for the light switches. Anyway, it was just a mess. And I had to play musical wires. Took 2 hours to figure it out. I finally did figure it out. Now I need a new light switch cover for that spot because you don't need 2 switches. You just need 1 because the way that the thing's wired up. So both the fan and the light are working. Pretty cool. Jeff, I have the micro space set yet to build. I do like some of it. I like some of them too. Um, I'm not making fun of anybody because everyone's different, but I've got a few people in my lug, for instance, that just go goo goo gaga over every single gift with purchase, and they just have to have it. I I don't feel that way. If I get it, great. There's very few that I have to have, but it's always nice to get them if you can. But I'm not going to sit there and order something just to get one. Okay, the fun part here, all these things. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to go out and buy the light switch cover, one being blank, the other one first switch. It's all built into one. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some of those longer screws. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Because the light switch the light switches themselves barely hit the box. So I'm going to buy the longer screws and take care of that problem. Some of the gift purchases I get to part out for mocks. That's awesome. And if you want to post any of your mocks, I do have a Facebook page. It's in the description, and you can post directly to the page. I always like seeing people's creations. There was a time the page was more active. But yeah, I'd like to see anything like that. And I think everyone here knows, but just in case somebody doesn't know who's going to watch on the replay, a mock is an abbreviation for my own creation. Wow, there's a lot of these little things. Hey Chip, if they made a Lego theme, what would you in it? If make a Lego theme, what would you in it? Uh, I'm sorry, I'm taking that as if they made a new theme, what would I want in it? Is that what this? Oh, the Battlestar Galactica Viper's Dome. Yeah, I've seen some Battleship Galactica mocks online. I have an Instagram dedicated to my person. Oh, okay. Bricklink. Okay, if you want to put an actual link, I'm okay with that. All right. Here's the final bag. Or, I mean, the final large bag, I should say. Okay, looks like we have some repeat pieces. No, if I made it, if I made a theme, that's an interesting question. Never been asked that before. I don't know, because I really like City, and I guess maybe if I did my own theme, it would be just strictly modulars, because no offense, but the smaller Lego sets, like, okay, the police station and the police training academy, I mean, they're okay, but they're definitely built on the cheap side. And so I don't really like it. And Lego doesn't really have a modular theme. I mean, they call it, the what do you call it? The creator. They don't actually call it its own theme. And I kind of wish they did. So I would say I'd like to see a modular theme, because there are a ton of modulars I would like to see Lego build. And I know Lego, I mean, they'll do whatever they want. But yeah. Well, my biggest pet peeve is stickers. I hate stickers. I'm sorry. I know some people don't mind them, but with given that I'm only getting older each year, I can't stand stickers. Especially when it's a dark color on a dark color. So, in other words, if it's black on black, forget about it. Dark blue on dark blue, forget about it. I cannot see it. And your lug asks all the time. Okay, well, what sort of ideas have they come up with? Like, what are some things people would like to see, Lighten? And another Lego pet peeve of mine is the artificial shortage that Lego creates and then complains about. Lego is in such a rush to make money off sets that they make a set and it's out sometimes for a year. Clear stickers is a problem too. Yes, Greg. But they do a limited run, especially like the Bricklink designer. They only do like 10 to 30,000 of them. And even before they're released officially and people have them, sometimes I see them on eBay and people are selling them for twice the price even before they get it in the mail. And that is a pet peeve of mine, because Lego controls every single one of the cards in that situation. And if they wanted to, they could make 100,000 of them and not do a limited run. Make it so that it's out for a couple of years. And from there, you wouldn't have as much price gouging if it was available. Because if I knew, for instance, okay, Ewok Village is a good one. That's one of those, what do they call it? White whales, or what do they call it? That, you wanted to get, but you never did get, and now you're kicking yourself for not having. That's definitely one of those sets for me. Now, if they would have had it out just a little bit longer, I would have been able to get it. Because I actually went to the store to go pick it up, and they told me, oh, we sold the last one of ours about a week ago. And I didn't know it was being retired. So if they would have had it out just for a tad longer, I'd have that set. But think of all the people like me who wanted that set or any other set. They discontinue it, and the only choice they have is a secondary market. And because people know that Lego's not predictable, like, for instance, you have no idea whether it's going to be out for a year, 2 years, 3 years. In some cases, like Assembly Square, it's been out for several, but you don't know. And so that lack of predictability is what ends up leading to these scalping prices, which I don't like. So that would definitely be a pet peeve of mine, is the Lego artificial shortage that they create. And then they can complain about it. And they're like, oh, I don't know why they're scalpers. And it's like, okay, well, it's not cool to create a problem and then complain about it. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. Let's see. John says he slept a lot today. Greg said clear stickers. I mentioned that. I love the Colonial Vipers from 1978. The equipment is so much better than anything Star Wars had. And you know something? I've heard that too from other people. Battlestar Galactica is not. I think I've seen the movie. It's been many years now, because I think, if I remember right, I saw it while I was working for the newspaper. which I quit the newspaper. Oh, shoot. When did I quit the newspaper? 2002, I think it was, 22 years ago. So I saw it while I was working there. So I saw it at least 20-something years ago. Because I remember we got together at a buddy's house to watch it. So, and then we talked about it afterwards for a few weeks. Video game, anime, adult themes. Well, okay. Adult themes, I'll tell you what. AliExpress, and I'm talking about adult themes, they actually make a pack of minifigures that are strippers. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. I don't have it, and I did not buy it, but I always thought, well, maybe I should make a modular where you've got like a strip club on the first floor and then apartments on the above floor, because a lot of these older buildings, downtown buildings, have that. They have apartments upstairs. So anyway, that's my idea of adult themes. But no, on a more serious note, I do like the Speed Champions and series for adult. I mean, it's for kids too, but I would like to see them do more Speed Champions all the way. I mean, they've got a lot of good cars, but there are others they could do as well. How about you? What would you like to see? Brickmania does military sets, Fallout, COD. Yeah, that's awesome, man. They do. I do. I saw. It's been a couple years, so I don't know if you guys still carry it, but at one time, Brickmania had like a battle pack for World War II. You could get like Japanese soldiers, German soldiers, American, British. And I thought that was really freaking cool. All right. There's no way I'm walking the dog tonight, John. I wouldn't either. Don't you got a hurricane coming in or tropical depression or something like that? Because John's in Florida, so yeah, man. I mean, if I had that at my back door or front door, I wouldn't be playing around with that either. Whoa, they sure like this dark green, don't they? Just to let you guys in on something, I'm strongly considering lowering my prices in my Bricklink store in the next couple of days, because, to be quite honest with you, I'm so tired of doing Bricklink. The sooner that stuff's out of my house, the better. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't going to lower it too much, because I've got a personal collection that's very thirsty for more Lego. So if I can't sell it for a decent price, I'll literally just dump the drawers into the drawers I already have out in the shop and be done with it. But let you know, I am considering lowering it and probably will, just to move some of it. Okay, so I see pieces. Oh, yeah, here's something right here. My dear is the brick-armed World War II sets. Yeah. I'm wondering if Lego makes the Ferrari Testarossa. Is that what it is? I don't know what that is. So John, if the hurricane passes you by without touching, affecting too much, are you going to start singing that Pearl Jam song tomorrow morning? I'm Still Alive. It's a good song, by the way. One of my favorites. Or are you going to sing I think it's White Snake's Rock Me Like a Hurricane? Maybe some trucks and planes would be cool and speed chance. You know what? I think that you're right about that. And I really wish Lego would drop its whole entire thing about not doing military sets, because I mean, I know there's other places like Brickmania and stuff that do these sets. I just think it'd be cool to have them more widely available. Like the Abrams, the Bradley fighting vehicle, the Stryker. I mean, God, man, it's like it's almost endless what they could do with it if they would just quit being prudes about that. And yeah, I do think they're being prudes. Okay, I need to dump this out because I need a bigger drawer. All right, I'll take a look at it here in a second, Greg. I kind of hid my phone on purpose. Just when you think you're done with a certain piece, it comes back to bite you. Okay, you guys make all those? That's awesome. And I maybe I should familiarize myself more with your guys' product, because there was a time that I used to see your guys' advertisements on the beginning of certain YouTubers' videos, and I had a pretty good idea of what you carried back then because the advertising, but I haven't seen those ads for a while, so I don't know what you guys are doing anymore. And also, I used to get that's not a complaint. I used to get your guys' orders on a fairly regular basis, and here lately I haven't received an order from you guys for a while. Not that that's an issue. Maybe I just don't have the pieces you're looking for, and that could be variable to truth because I haven't added pieces to my Bricklink store in a while. I can't remember. It might have been Brickmania that did it. They did one of the D-Day beaches, or it might have been another fan that did it. But I thought that was the coolest freaking thing ever. They had trenches and foxholes and landing craft, and they had the whole 9 yards going there. And I think that kind of stuff just rocks, man. Or maybe I could do the ineffective French Maginot line, or whatever it was called, that they thought was impregnable in the beginning of World War II, the one they just went around and blew it up. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Trevor. I don't wish Lego would do military, but at least do wholesale deals for third-party companies that do make military. Yeah, I could see your point there because when it comes to having a lug, I know that if we have a project, we can submit paperwork to them, and they provide the pieces at low cost. Sometimes even at no cost, but that's not very common. It's usually low cost. So yeah, I hear you on that. You're saying basically level the playing field some. Because I imagine with you guys having to buy on the secondary market, that just makes the markup quite a bit, and Legos are already expensive. So, and I don't remember the guy's name that I met at Brick Slopes last year, but I told him about how you guys bought from me several times, and he gave me the name and number of the guy who does the purchasing because I told him I'd work out a deal on the shipping, and I admit right after that I needed to have neck surgery, so I dropped the ball. Maybe I should get this guy's number. Well, I'm sorry, I have it somewhere. Maybe I should give him a call and see what I can do. But then again, I don't want to do Bricklink anymore. Well, you guys remember I told you I did the electrician apprentice thing for one day? Well, that guy's being a total jerk to me. He told me he would pay me that day Venmo. So I went and worked for him, and I don't know why I can't do math, but I worked for him for 16 and a half hours that day because just how the day went. And at the end of the night, he's like, yeah, I'll pay you in Venmo here shortly. And he was meaning that day. Well, he didn't. And so I ended up contacting him a few days later, and I was like, hey. And he goes, hey, I'm sorry. I got busy. It'll be a couple of days. And so I waited another 9 days. And then when I got a hold of him, he's like, you're just an impatient SOB. He actually called me that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, bud. I said, look, last time we talked, you set the expectation that it was going to be a short amount of time before I got paid. So I'm just going off of what you said. He backed off, didn't apologize, but he backed off and said, well, I can pay you this coming Friday. And I'm like, yeah, you better, buddy. I mean, shoot. I worked 16 and a half hours. And I swear if he doesn't, I'm going to go on the Department of Labor's website and file a complaint. He'll pay me. I hate doing it, but I hate even more working for somebody for free. Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry. Can I call you Herd? I don't know how to pronounce that first word, and I do not like butchering people's names. Because if you look how my name is spelled, I've been called all kinds of things besides Jeff. Occasionally someone calls me Jeff. No, I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. But I have heard my name butchered many different ways, so I'm sensitive to that, and I don't want to butcher your name. Anyway, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining us. And this right here is just me trying to get a handle on my collection. So that's all right. Okay. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being understanding because, like I said, I don't like butchering a name. I think it's rude. Wow, I thought I was going to be able to get away with a small drawer with these pieces, but I don't think so. It's starting to fill up already. So just to let you guys know, I had fun yesterday. And I don't mean that. I mean it very sarcastically. I did my live stream yesterday of sorting, and I went to my bedroom door, and my bedroom door was locked, and my keys were inside my bedroom. Now, a little background on that. I replaced the lock about a month ago. And in doing so, I got a defective lock that it's not supposed to lock automatically, but there's been a few times where it has, and it does it very randomly. And I didn't even think about it. I was late for the live stream. So I get here, I do the live stream, don't even know the door's locked. I go to my bedroom after the live stream, and I can't get in. So that was frustrating as, you know what? And I didn't want to break the door down. And I still have the old doorknob with the old lock on it. So as big as I am, I left one of the windows open on my shop because I had already been out there that morning to open everything up. And the door was locked, but I was able to crawl through one of the windows, gently remove the screen, grab my drill, and I had the drill bits in the garage, and I slowly drilled out the lock so I didn't have to break the door, and then I replaced it with the old doorknob. But that was my fun during yesterday's live stream. Me, I'm doing great, actually. It's been a really good day. Got to spend time with, well, I got to FaceTime my granddaughter. I didn't get to spend time with her, actually, but it's always a good day when I get to talk to my granddaughter. That kid's really special to me because I've had temporary custody of her twice. And besides that, the first 10 months of her life, my daughter and her lived with me and my wife. And anyway, you should do a military base for your Legos and buy some Brickmania sets for it. You know, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I do have the room after all. Okay. Well, I think what I need to do is make sure I don't have the same pieces here, and then maybe move some of these containers off of here. It's getting very full over here. Okay, I have that one, and the green one, and then the teeth. Okay, so I think some of these can vacate the premises. Let's make sure there's nothing. No, there's not. Okay. No, I don't see them in here. Okay. Let's make some room. Okay, the proverbial missing piece that's not really missing. How's Jenny doing? She is driving. She is driving back from San Antonio, so about 3 hours away. She visited Osea earlier today. So she is doing well. My buddy Chris is almost done with Red 5 Loops X-Wing, the recent one. Okay. If you have a lot of extra parts, you could always buy one of our instruction books or digital, more cost effective. You know, I do have a lot of pieces. That's probably not a bad idea. You could make Miss Chip a higher rank in your city. Yeah, get a sig fig for Mrs. Chip. That's yeah, got a higher rank. Yeah. She could be the mayor or base commander. Yeah, the garrison commander. You know, I wonder about that. What would that take? What would that entail? Okay, so I've got. I no longer need this. And I don't think I need this anymore either. Boy, putting this away is going to be fun. But I'm glad you guys are here to make this process a little bit easier. It's always fun to talk to people while doing this. All right, so one thing I wanted to talk about today is the next couple videos. Tomorrow will be a live stream, tomorrow night, and we're going to start the general store. I'm thinking that 2 live streams is all it's going to take because the amount of pieces is not that great. And that is set 910031, the Bricklink Designer Series 1. So we'll work on that tomorrow. And then the day after that, I will do a video, release a video on the Speed Champion, the Lamborghini V12 Vision GT Supercar, which is set 76923. Wednesday will be another live stream, and that will be part 2 of the general store. Thursday, I plan on doing a video on the Aston Martin safety car and the AMR23. It's a double pack. Friday, I hope to have the Lego City update done. I have finally figured out the roof to the subway. So it's possible. It's just a matter if I have the time to get to it or not. And then Saturday will be a review of all of the Speed Champions. And then after that, I don't have it figured out yet. And it's always subject to change. That's just my plan today for the next couple of days. And let's see. We sell minifigures from all branches except no Space Force yet. And he stresses the yet. I'm sure that's in the works. And actually, I love what you guys do, to be honest. I think Brickmania is a great company. And I love your guys' big model builds. And honestly, I've seen a few videos with the owner I don't think I've ever met the owner in person, but so I don't think he was the one that was there at Brickmania or Brick Slopes. However, I have seen some videos with him being interviewed, and he seems like a pretty cool guy, and I like his designs, and I like the whole thing. I think it's great. And to be honest with you, Trevor, I don't know if Brickmania even does this, so I could be just talking out my you know what. And if I am, I apologize, but I would be very happy to review sets for them. Heck, I'll even do live streams building them if they wanted me to. I don't know how to arrange something like that, but if it was possible, I would do it. Oh, I threw it in the wrong thing. I must say, if I made military vehicles out of these colors, it'd be interesting. Ken, how you doing? Evening, Jeff. I'm sitting watching my favorite YouTube person and resting from working 52 hours and cutting grass. Boy, you are busy. Yeah, that's very busy. Well, now that it's a little bit later in the day, by the time I'm done with this stream, I can go out to the shop. And when I'm on the east side of the shop this time of the day, the sun's setting in the west. And so literally the shop is so big that if I'm on the opposite side, it's like 10 to 15 degrees cooler on the side the sun's not on. I'm just catching up, Ken, on some stuff that I need to catch up on. I've been staring at these bags for several weeks now, thinking, okay, when am I going to get to it? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to get to it. I got other things to do. And I finally just said, you know what? If I do a live stream, I'll end up finishing it. Because when I do a live stream, as you guys know, I finish everything I start. So I figure I'd force myself into it. I'm not sure if they do an ambassador program, but you could always email them. You know what? That's a great idea because I do have their email. Because on every single order for Bricklink, they give the email. You know what? Thanks for the idea, Trevor. I will reach out to them probably tomorrow. So I have some other administrative things to do for my channel tomorrow. So while I'm at it, why not? Holy smokes. This is a little more involved than I thought, but I'm not complaining. Oh, and also, speaking of finishing things, yesterday I finished up listing the last of my Vegas sets. That was that store that went out of business that I bought his complete inventory. He had a few Minecraft trading post sets, and I verified them, and I listed them last night. And we are sitting at 4 of those, and it's set number 21167. So I'm happy to close that chapter. And how's the animal doing? Trevor, I don't want to use your name if it's going to cause any trouble, but in my email, can I mention that you watch my live streams? Is that okay? And would they know who you are if I just said Trevor? And if it's not okay, that's totally fine. I'm not, no pressure. I just thought I'd ask to ask. And it's getting kind of warm in here. How are the animals doing? They're just fabulous. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see Enzo's head. Enzo, come here. Oh my goodness, the first try, I didn't have to yell at you. I'm just kidding. Look at this. He's turning into an old man. He's getting all gray. Look at that. He wasn't that gray when I first got him almost 3 years ago. Now he's turning all gray. All right, show me your war face. There you go. Okay. Well, you know what? I will tell him that you advocate for the brand. I will. And I'll also mention that, hey, you guys have ordered for me a few times. And I will say, I'm being a little arrogant here, but I'm very impressed. They've never had to reach out to me, not once. And they've ordered for me like 70-something times. And never have they ever reached out to me and been like, hey, you screwed up my order. I am really good about verifying the pieces before I send them out. And if there is a problem, I reach out and I will give a refund for whatever's missing. I don't like it when customers have to contact me saying, I found a problem with your order. I don't like having problems with my orders, but if there's going to be a problem, I want to be the one that finds out before the customer does. Wow, these are some tiny little pieces. Well, yeah, I will reach out to him tomorrow, see what can be done, if anything. And if not, I mean, I still might just purchase a set or two and do a review on it, whether they do that or not. Because, I think your stuff's pretty popular. I think most Lego enthusiasts know who Brickmania is. Not only that, maybe I should, I'm putting my head way in the clouds here. I have a friend that lives in Minneapolis, and I need to go visit him anyway because it's been many years. He came by. I have actually never visited him in Minneapolis. He's visited me here a few times. In fact, he was just here a little over a month ago. So I'm sure my friend Brian wouldn't mind if I went out there to Minneapolis and just visited him at the same time visited you guys. I know you don't work at that location, but that's where the main one is, I think, is Minneapolis. I wish there was a faster, easier way to do this, but if there is, I'm not aware of it. Oh, you have? That is so cool. If you come out to Chicago, you're always welcome to visit the store. Okay. I've actually never been to Chicago, and it's been on my bucket list. There's a lot to see. I know it's called the Willis Tower now instead of the Sears Tower, but I'd love to see that because at one time it was the tallest building in the world. And Plus, there's several things about Chicago history that I know about. I know about the failed skyscraper. They dug the foundation for it circular, and it's huge. I think it goes 12 stories underground, and it filled with water because it's close to the river there. I don't know. I know it's a weird thing to go visit, but I actually would like to go visit that. Oh, I did not do that. Oh, it's spelled Willis, pronounced yours. Okay, I got you. Well, it's like okay. Mrs. Chip is stationed at Fort Hood. It's actually called like Fort Cavazos now. But when we went looking at buying a house there, we had a real estate agent, and I didn't know how to pronounce Cavazos when I first saw the name. And so I told her, I said, well, my wife's stationed at what used to be Fort Hood. And the real estate agent's like, oh, formerly Fort Hood, really? She goes, no, we don't care about the name change. Everyone around here still calls it Fort Hood. And so I thought that was funny. The locals won't. The military will call it Fort Cavazos because that's what they're told to call it, but the locals will not. The locals call it or they call it Fort Hood, not Fort Cavazos. So maybe it's kind of the same thing where even though it's spelled that, even though they changed names because somebody else bought it, nobody wants to go with the name change. Well, we got one more little bag after this one, and then we are done with the whole entire set, and I'm excited about that. I think it's cool. And I like it when it gets to this point because then it's much easier to identify the pieces because the color. Well, I mean, these green ones are hard to differentiate because they're so close together, but the other ones, like these tan ones, are real easy to differentiate. Brick World, yeah. I actually know someone who went this last year, and I would like to go to it. And I'll tell you what, tile is some of my favorite pieces of Lego because it's so universal, and I like making patterns and floors and stuff on my builds with them. All right. This is exciting. Oh, that's not exciting. Dang it. I put it in the wrong one. I'm known to do that from time to time. Looks like I got all of them. Okay, cool. I need to make my way to other Lego shows sometimes. Yeah, I've been to quite a few myself, and I think they're fun. I really do. It's always a lot better when I'm not displaying at the shows, because when you're displaying at shows, it is a pain in the butt. Um, and I'll tell you why I don't like doing shows anymore as a displayer, because you do them, you set up, and it takes a while to set up, and it's only up for a couple days, and then after that, you are done, and you got to tear it back down. And my problem with it is this: I always gain weight when I go to these things. And I kid you not, I always do. And so, because you can't really eat really well on the road. And I know it may not look like it, but I do care about my weight. In fact, I've been slowly but steadily declining. I've lost about 10 pounds in the last 3 months. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on getting the right. Oh, it actually landed in the right one. I ain't gonna worry about it. Just making sure I get the right angle on these ones. Okay, that's done, and we got one more bag. If you guys would hit the like button, I always appreciate that. It does help out the channel tremendously when you do. And there's a few pieces locked in that one, so let me re-grab that. Did you guys ever play like Star Wars Dark Forces back in the day? I think it was the early 90s, mid 90s. That was one of my favorite games. I think I've lost quite a bit of my life playing that game. That and Zelda, if you want to go even further back. Man, I used to play Zelda like it was no one's business. I like those old style games. Well, like I said, this is our last bag. And it looks like I need a couple of these without the divider. Namely this piece right here. Would I ever audition for Lego Masters? I don't know. I actually had a friend of mine approach me about it about 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago, because it was right in the middle of my move. Well, because I was packing up. I didn't quite leave yet, but I had already had a contract on this place, and my other house was under contract to sell. So he approached me about it, and I told him no because I was in the middle of moving, and then we never talked about it again. So I guess I have considered it, but as far as actually audition, no, I have not. And maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing. What do you think? Do you think I have what it takes? And it looks like we're down to pretty much the teeth or the triple teeth pieces, and then we're good. So let's separate these real quick. We don't need a divider on that one either. It's going to be enough of these. Yeah, I also need to work on the Avengers Tower as much as possible. I would really like to get that project done. Not that I'm trying to be complacent, but I'll be honest. Sometimes I feel like I have too many irons in the fire, as they say. And to get a few of those irons stamped out and done would be nice. Because believe me, I have no shortage of projects floating around in this diabolical mind of mine. What I have is a shortage of time and a shortage of funds sometimes. Okay, I think I say that, and then I think that's all of that. Yes, it is. All right, guys, I am done with this set. And let's see how many of their. I can count. There's only one in each set. So let's see how many sets did I do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 of these sets. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, check out my Bricklink store. Links in the description. And I do appreciate you spending part of your Sunday afternoon, evening with me. And I hope you guys have a good afternoon. And I will talk to you guys later, specifically tomorrow.